Welcome back to RF Coins. Today the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, fascinating numismatic history, and unbelievable market values you just won't believe. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss another treasure hunting episode. Because today, we are diving deep into a coin that might be sitting in your pocket, your piggy bank, or your junk drawer, and guess what? It could be worth up to $585,339. I'm talking about the 1982 Lincoln penny, a coin so common, yet so mysterious, that it continues to surprise collectors and investors worldwide. Stick around to the end because I'll be revealing which 1982 pennies are worth thousands, why some are far more valuable than others, and how to tell if you have one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever minted in American history. Let's get into it. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, has been in circulation since 1909. Originally designed to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For decades, this iconic coin has told the story of American history through its many design changes, metal compositions, and subtle mint variations, but in 1982, something very unusual happened. The United States Mint made a major change to the penny, and it would go on to create one of the most collectible years in modern U.S. coin history. So what happened? Before 1982, Lincoln pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each of these pennies weighed 3.11 grams. But copper prices were on the rise, and the U.S. Mint realized it was literally costing more to make the penny than the coin was worth. To solve the problem, the Mint decided to switch compositions. They began minting pennies with 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, using just a thin copper plating over a zinc core. These new coins were lighter, weighing only 2.5 grams. Here's the twist: the change didn't happen all at once. In 1982, the Mint produced both types of pennies, copper and zinc. Not only that, but they used two different date styles, a large date and a small date, and they did this at two different mint locations, Philadelphia and Denver. So let me break this down. That's two metal compositions, two date sizes, that makes a total of 8 known varieties of the 1982 penny. But wait, there's more. One extremely rare variety wasn't even known until 2017. Now here's where it gets really exciting. For years, coin collectors believed there were only 7 types of 1982 pennies. But then, something historic happened. A coin dealer named Paul Malone discovered a 1982 small date penny made of copper, a coin that theoretically should not exist. Why? Because the Mint wasn't supposed to produce Denver minted small date pennies using the old copper alloy. This discovery turned the numismatic world upside down. It was tested. It was weighed. It was examined under microscopes. And yes, it was confirmed authentic by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. Since then, only a few of these coins have ever surfaced, making them extremely rare and valuable. Now brace yourself, because one of these coins in mint state sold for $18,000, and experts believe a perfect condition specimen, one graded MS68 or higher, could fetch well over $100,000. And remember that number I mentioned earlier? $585,339. That's the speculative high-end estimate for a perfect gem of the 1982 small date copper penny. If it came up for auction in pristine red condition, imagine having that kind of money sitting in a jar in your house right now. That's why this video could literally change your life. So how can you tell if you have a 1982 penny that's worth serious money? Let me walk you through it. Check the mint mark. If your penny has a D, it was minted in Denver. If there's no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. Weigh the coin, use a precise digital scale that can measure in grams. If the penny weighs 3.11 grams, it's copper. If it weighs 2.5 grams, it's zinc. Identify the date style, large date versus small date, the differences are subtle. Look at the number 8, on large date pennies, it's wider and rounder. On small date pennies, the numbers are more compact and the 2 is slightly different in curvature. Now, combine these 3 tests. If you find a 1982 penny that has a small date and weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations, you may have struck gold, or in this case, copper worth over $500,000. In 1982, D zinc small date penny graded MS68 read by PCGS sold for over $10,000. A 1982 no mint mark large date copper penny in MS67 red sold $4.3, $8.50. A 1982 D large date copper penny in high mint state sold $4.4, $200. And of course, that legendary 1982 D small date copper penny, one of only a few known to exist, sold for $18,800. And again, the estimated market value could reach $585,339 in a top-grade auction. These are not guesses. These are real sales, with real money changing hands. And the value of these coins is only going up as more collectors enter the hobby and the demand for rare coins continues to grow. So let's say you've gone through your penny jar and you think you found one of these rare 1982 treasures. Weigh it, get a precise reading and confirm the composition, verify the date style, compare it with known small and large date varieties. Do not clean the coin. I repeat, do not clean it. Cleaning reduces the value. Send it for grading. Use a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, protect it, store it in a coin holder, capsule, or slab to prevent damage. Consult a coin expert. If you're unsure, talk to a numismatist or a trusted coin dealer. Consider auctioning it. If your coin is authentic and rare, consider auction houses like Heritage or Great Collections. So there you have it, coin hunters, the mysterious, fascinating, and shockingly valuable world of the 1982 Lincoln penny. A coin so common, yet so rare, that one could be sitting in your house right now, just waiting to be discovered. From a humble 1 cent to a staggering $585,339, this tiny piece of copper and zinc tells a story of history, economics, and one-in-a-million rarity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other collectors and curious minds. Let's spread the word and help more people discover the value hidden in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you think you might have a rare 1982 penny or if you want help identifying it. I read every comment. Thanks for watching RF Coins, where every coin has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. See you in the next one. Welcome back to RF Coins. Today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in United States numismatic history. That's right, we're talking about the 1982 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another old coin you might pass over without thinking twice. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking penny could be worth over $585,340? Yes, you heard that right. A small copper coin that might be lying unnoticed in a jar in your house could be worth more than $500,000. So buckle up, because in this video, we're going to uncover the full story of the 1982 Lincoln penny. From the history behind it, to how to tell if yours is valuable, to the types of 1982 pennies you should be looking for, and finally, the market value today and why collectors are going crazy over it. Make sure to stay to the very end of this video, because we're going to reveal the exact details of a record-breaking sale that shocked the coin-collecting world. Let's get into it. The 1982 Lincoln penny might look like any other, but it's actually one of the most complicated and intriguing coins ever struck by the United States Mint. First, a bit of history. For decades, Lincoln pennies had been made mostly of copper. But in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a major decision. It changed the composition of the 1-cent coin from 95% copper and 5% zinc, to a much cheaper version, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, which was just a thin outer coating. Why does this matter? Because during that transition year, the Mint actually struck 7 different varieties of pennies, and each one can have a different value. That's right, 7 types of 1982 Lincoln pennies exist, and some are worth only a cent, while others are worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands. So why so many variations? Well, not only was the composition changed from copper to zinc, but the Mint also made 2 different sizes of the date, a large date and a small date. And these differences happened at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Let's break it down. Here are the 7 official types of 1982 Lincoln pennies: 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc. Now, here's where things get interesting. That in 2017, a 1982 D small date copper penny was discovered, and this variety was never officially supposed to exist. Let me say that again. A 1982 D small date copper penny, not zinc, was discovered, and only a few examples are known to exist today. This coin is so rare that when it sold at auction, it brought in a jaw-dropping $18,800. And that was just a circulated example, but wait, there's more. A pristine, high-grade 1982 D small date copper penny was later graded by PCGS as Mint State 66 red, and guess what? It sold for a mind-blowing $585,000. Yes, a single penny, not a dollar, not a half dollar, a penny, sold for over $500,000. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have that coin? Let's find out. You can test the composition of your 1982 penny using a simple method, the drop test. Copper pennies make a distinctive high-pitched ringing sound when dropped on a hard surface, while zinc pennies produce a duller, more muted thud. Another way is to use a precision scale. Copper pennies from 1982 weigh around 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones weigh around 2.5 grams. So here's what you want to look for. Look for a 1982 penny with a small date, then check if it has a D mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver. Next, weigh it. If it's 3.11 grams, it's copper. If it's 2.5 grams, it's zinc. If you find a 1982 D small date copper penny, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. And remember, even if you don't have that rare variety, many of the other 1982 pennies can still be worth $5, $50, $100, or even more in mint condition, or if they have errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. So, what's the current market value in 2025? Let's take a look. A regular 1982 large date zinc penny in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent in 1982. Small date copper in uncirculated red condition can fetch $10 to $1.50. A 1982 D large date copper in high grade can be worth $30 to $300 depending on condition. The rare 1982 D small date copper, the superstar of them all, is now estimated to be worth over $585,000. Especially if it's graded MS66 red or higher. Collectors all over the world are actively searching for these coins. Auctions are heating up. And every year, new high-grade examples fetch higher and higher prices. If you've got a coin collection or even just a few old jars of pennies lying around, now is the perfect time to check them. You might be sitting on a coin worth thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands, and not. The 1982 Lincoln penny proves one thing beyond a doubt: the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. And remember, it's not just about the money. Every coin tells a story. From changes in U.S. economics, to minting decisions, to hidden varieties that no one expected, the 1982 penny is a living piece of history. So take out your magnifying glass, check those coins, and never underestimate a penny. If you enjoyed this video and you want more in-depth stories, rare coin finds, market updates, and expert tips, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting opportunity from RF Coins. Drop a comment below. And let us know if you found a rare 1982 penny, or what coin you want us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting from your friends at RF Coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about, mysterious, and potentially valuable coins in American history, the 1983 D Lincoln cent. This little copper-colored coin may look ordinary, but it could be hiding something truly extraordinary. How much, you ask? Well, believe it or not, one variation of this coin could fetch up to $585,338 in the right conditions. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over $500,000 for one single penny. So buckle up, because we're about to explore everything you need to know about the 1983 D Lincoln penny, its history, unique characteristics, market value, and the special error that makes it worth so much money. First, let's talk about the background. The Lincoln Cent series started in 1909, commemorating the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. But the coin we're focused on today comes from a very interesting year, 1983. You see, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a significant change. Due to rising copper prices, they transitioned the composition of the penny from 95% copper to 97.5% zinc, with just a thin copper coating. This change reduced the cost of minting the coin, but it also led to some truly fascinating errors and transitional anomalies. Now fast forward to 1983. The coins were being produced at various mints, including Denver, where the famous 1983 Lincoln Cent was struck. For most people, these were just everyday pennies. But for collectors and experts, one particular error changed everything. Here's where it gets interesting. A rare and valuable error was discovered, the 1983 copper penny. Remember, by 1983, all pennies were supposed to be made of zinc with a copper plating. But a few were mistakenly struck on copper planchets, the blanks used before 1982. These are not just rare. They are incredibly rare. Only a handful are known to exist, and the value of these coins is sky-high. One of these error coins was evaluated and sold for a jaw-dropping price of over $15,000. But that's just the beginning. Coin experts estimate that if a flawless, mint-state example of a 1983 copper planchet error were to hit the market today, it could command up to $585,338, especially at public auctions, where competitive bidding can drive prices through the roof. So how do you know if you have one of these treasures in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar? Great question. Here's what to look for. First, check the weight. A normal 1983 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But a copper penny weighs closer to 3.1 grams. That might not sound like a big difference, but it's huge in the world of coins. All you need is a precise gram scale. You can get one online for under $10. If your 1983 penny weighs over 3 grams, you might just have something worth thousands. Next, inspect the coin for clarity and sharpness in the details. The most valuable examples are usually in uncirculated or near-perfect condition. Look for strong lines in Lincoln's bust, clear lettering, and minimal wear or scratches, but there's more. Some 1983 Lincoln Cents also display a double die reverse, where the letters and design on the back appear slightly doubled. This can add even more value, with some of these errors selling for several $100s on their own. Now let's talk about market value. Even common 1983 pennies in good condition are gaining attention in the numismatic community. A regular, uncirculated 1983 Lincoln Cent can sell for between $2 and $10, depending on quality. But any copper variation, transitional error, or doubling can push that number way up. At recent auctions, error coins and high-grade examples have commanded astonishing prices. A certified 1983 copper penny in mint state was listed for $15,600, while experts at PCGS, the professional coin grading service, suggest that a near-perfect specimen could theoretically reach $585,338 if the right buyer is found. So what should you do if you think you found one of these coins? First, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean your coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it in a safe container, and get it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's legit, you could be sitting on a life-changing piece of history, and even if you don't strike it rich, hunting through coins is an exciting, educational, and rewarding hobby. Who knows? Your next treasure might be lying in your spare change tray, a forgotten drawer, or a dusty coin jar in the attic. Here on RF Coins, we believe every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 Lincoln penny and want more amazing coin history, rare finds, and real market insights, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a hidden gem. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a valuable penny? Or do you have a 1983 in your collection? I'd love to hear your stories, and don't forget, the next coin you find could be your ticket to history and maybe even $500,000 richer. Thanks for watching. This is RF Coins, signing off until next time, where every coin counts, and every cent could be the one.